All right, guys, forgiveness doesn't mean there's no consequences. What do I mean by that? Does that mean that you're going to hang out with that person? They're going to be your best friend after that? No. It means you're going to probably get as much distance as you can from them. More than likely. If they're really toxic and then they're hurting you and doing everything that they can to destroy you, yeah, you're not going to be wanting to hang out with them. Right? I mean, it just doesn't make sense, you know? And because these people, some people just want to kill you. They literally want to just kill you. So why would you want them around? No. Sorry, that's not how that works. Also, forgiveness doesn't mean that there's no consequences. And I'm just not allowed to serve the consequences other than what's right, my rights. Okay? We have to have sovereignty. That's why there's sovereignty built into our laws. We should be able to defend ourselves. That's called sovereignty. Our nation should have sovereignty. We should every state and every household should have sovereignty. Okay? The law is built with sovereignty in mind. Okay? So it doesn't mean that if I forgive somebody that I can't defend myself. You know? And it also doesn't mean that there's no consequences to your actions. There are consequences to your actions. If my son does something on accident or on purpose, doesn't matter, and I ground him or something, right? That doesn't mean I don't forgive him. It just means he has to carry out the sentence that I give him. Does that make sense? And having grace and mercy doesn't mean that these people get off scot-free and don't have to pay for what they did in this world. That's not how that works. The only thing is we want to exact our revenge, and we can't do that. The law has to do that, and we're just allowed to defend ourselves. Because if we're out here just going around like hunting, if that's what we had to do, we had to hunt certain people, and there's it's like the law is just. So whatever's lawful, we're allowed to do. Okay? So it seems like it's common sense, but it's not really. Because people get confronted with forgiveness and then their brain falls out of their skull. Because mercy and justice don't seem to coincide, but they do in a Christian society. We as a Christian society say that the law should be, that's why we're lawful people. That's why conservatives they like the law. They like cops because don't let us do it on our own, because if we do it on our own, we might act out of emotion. And if you act out of emotion and rage or something like that, and jealousy and doing all these things, then you're liable to do something more harsh or irrational. So it just seems like a lot of people just go, oh, what about, why do we always have to play defense? Well, conservatism is defense. We're conserving the law and traditions and preserving our sovereignty and our peace. We're conserving peace. And that's why a lot of conservatives don't really believe in going and in foreign wars, because there's no guarantee that they're going to be like us and have the Christian sovereignty that it takes to maintain a republic. So it's complicated, but that's basically the idea. That's how it kind of macro and micro scales in our life and for how the government and everything should act. America is a beautiful idea and country, and United States, it's like, it's really, our founding fathers were Christian, and you could tell by the way everything is written, because it's a way to preserve peace, not to just you know, let people exact, you know, punishment willy-nilly. It started with law. The country started with the Constitution is law, and so we're a nation of laws. So, you know, and it's like, if you're acting on your own, you're basically lawless. You're not under our law. That's why you're should be criminally prosecuted. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to defend your country. That doesn't mean you shouldn't act within the law. And the law does give some leeway for. It's starting to erode from what it used to be, and I think the tradition, the things that used to be traditionally, was there for a reason, because it's like you get to a point where you can't defend yourself, you're losing sovereignty, and that's not good, right? And then people complain and they say we should be able to attack these people if they attack us. Well, actually, we should have just been able to defend ourselves in the first place. We should have just had the laws that we had in the books. On the books, we should have just had those to start with, and try to change everything and try to figure it all out the other way. Because as you could tell, if you have it the other way, and if you can't have sovereignty, and you can't have sovereignty for yourself and for your family, then yes, the only other option is to, well, tit for tat. They did it to me, I should be able to do it to them. Does that make sense? So, so that's how it works, and it's not that complicated. You know, smoke a little joint. I'm just kidding, and think about it. Don't smoke weed, but just have a second, really think that through. You know, think that idea through, like why sovereignty is so important, and what makes that, you know, why that's such a, like, the idea is so important for us as a people, and why we should respect other countries, because, you know, their sovereignty too, and so people would be acting a lot better if they respect each other's sovereignty. But here we are. So I was just trying to make a video to clarify that, and I know nobody gives a rip about what I think. It's pretty clear. So I'm not getting any likes in the videos. People don't seem to care about what this is. So I think that people are just scared to have this conversation. So because they'd rather they'd rather not think about forgiveness. They'd rather not think about grace, because if they think about it, then they're guilty of it, of not doing it. And I think that's why I'm not getting a lot of traction on this channel. It's because people are just like, nah, it doesn't resonate with me. This channel does not resonate with people unless you went through that and it changed your life dramatically, because that's how it works. If you have forgiveness in your heart, it will change your life dramatically, and then you will be like, this guy knows exactly what's going on, because that's what it is. It's either you're part of the club and you know what I'm talking about, or you just have no clue and you have hate in your heart and you want to have nothing to do with this. And that's what I think. That's where I'm at. And so it's just not a popular idea. Surprise, surprise. So But that doesn't mean I don't still make videos. That doesn't mean I'm not out here. And so that's what was on my heart. So love y'all.